This is me on January the 19th, 2015, talking about the fact that Birthing Pod and Treasure Cruise had just been banned and having no idea what I was getting myself into. This is me now. Hello, everybody. Time makes chuds of us all. I'm a little less bottom heavy than I was back then, but I guess to make up for it, I lost all of my hair and grew a ton of back hair. Take that however you want to. You'll be right. Oh, and by the way, if you remember that couch, congratulations. You're a true OG. But point is, we've been here for 10 years, if you can imagine that. When I first started gabbing about magic on YouTube, I had no idea that like a decade later, I'd still be doing it and enjoying like every second of it, man. And a lot has happened in that 10-year time frame, not just in Magic the Gathering, although it has, for better or worse, but also in my personal life. Like this guy over here that you can't see right now, but it's this guy, it's Ziggy. It's everybody's favorite cat. He wasn't even like alive when we started this channel. We had like a cat when we started this YouTube channel. And as a matter of fact, we found this guy as a little baby on the back stoop of our old apartment. And you guys helped us name him. That is how much a part of like my personal life that you guys have been over the last decade here. I mean, over the last decade, I have gone through a lot of personal stuff, financial struggles. I've had to move. I've gone in and out of touch with my family for various reasons. I've gotten married. I've had a heart attack. I mean, a lot has happened over the last 10 years for me. And besides my wife, you guys are like basically the one constant in my life. And I do genuinely want to thank each and every one of you for that, man. I would not be literally who I am today without this experience, which I'm not ending, by the way. I know that you probably want to go ahead and get that out of the way. This is not like a thanks for the 10 years, I'm leaving YouTube forever. I'm not going to pull a Matt Pat on you or anything like that. I'm sticking around because I really, really enjoy what I do, and you guys are a big part of that. I'm not going to belabor this point too much, and I don't want to sound too cliche, but I'm also not blowing smoke up your tutor, and I think you can tell the difference between when a YouTuber is and is not doing that. But I say this on stream a lot. I don't say it on YouTube enough. You know, I get a lot of emails and other correspondence and Twitter DMs and stuff about how like I've helped some of you through this or that situation, whether it was heartache, financial struggle, you know, getting out in the world and like finding who you are and what you want your degree to be in. And then once you get your degree, what you want to do with the rest of your life. And the videos help you through little things like that and big things like hospital visits and stuff. I get so many different emails from people saying that I helped them through this or that or the other, and they mean the world to me. But I want you guys to know, like, sincerely, you guys do just as much or probably more, really, for my mental health than I could ever do for yours. And to be honest, after 10 years, I'm still not really used to it. I'm not used to the support. I've said it before, but before you guys, you know, I was making $2.13 an hour, waiting tables, garbage tips, reduced hours, right? Stealing ground beef from the grocery store in my cargo pockets and stuff like that. It was not a good time in my life before I started this channel. And this has really changed sort of everything for me. And I could never, ever thank you in enough ways for you to understand what you've done just for this one guy. But here comes the hard part, question mark, and it doesn't have to be. It could be completely painless for all parties involved, but it's also one of the ways, just one, that I'd like to try and thank you for, you know, changing my life over the last 10 years. There's, again, I can't possibly do enough, but one thing I can do is listen to you. I try to do that all the time, but I don't ask you enough, right? So again, at the risk of sounding cliche, but I'm being as genuine as I possibly can here. I want to know what you think the direction of the channel should be. What should we do more of, or potentially even less of? What can we subtract? But I want to know sort of, you know, what you want from the channel, because that's important to me. You know, every time I do ask this question, I get people who say like, just do what you want to do. And that's a valuable answer. Don't get me wrong. I appreciate it, but it's important to me that I know what the people who, you know, support me, who watch me, who, you know, build in some ways their like media schedule around me. You know what I mean? I want to know sort of what you want, because I have to acknowledge, and this is important, that we are not the relatively large fish in a very small pond that we used to be. If you go back and look at some of the early view counts on some of our deck techs, it's out of control, you know, astronomical through the roof and all that. And there are objective reasons why over the last 10 years those view counts have gone down, right? You know, Arena came out. If you look around the time the closed beta started, views slashed in half for a lot of reasons. And one of them is that people realize I'm not some sort of magic god, which will happen, right, if you're not a magic god. But also a lot of content creators entered the pool, which I'm not whinging about, never. I actually support the crap out of that, because if more people get to do what I enjoy doing so much for a living and making a name for themselves out there and broadening this sort of content pool so that more people can enjoy Magic the Gathering as a whole, then I'm into that every day of the week. But at the same time, that is another factor that sort of cut some of the views from the channel. I also feel like I could have evolved a little bit more in terms of content. I still have never employed a green screen for any reason. I've never hired an editor for any reason, right? It's just still like a one-man operation. And a lot of YouTubers wouldn't still be doing that after 10 years. But there are some things I know I have to admit, but I also look at the old content going through it and I see Deck Tech, Deck Tech, Deck Tech, Deck Tech, Deck Tech, Deck Tech. And at some point I moved away from that, and I now don't know if that was a good decision. Should we still be doing 3 traditional deck techs every single week, plus news content, plus spoilers, which I wouldn't mind doing? I just kind of felt at some point like the YouTube deck tech died, but maybe not. Maybe there are people out there that want to watch it, and just I'm part of the problem because I stopped providing them. Again, these are questions that enter my mind nearly every day, and I don't ask you about them enough. Over the last couple of years, we've been throwing a lot of stuff at the wall, right? Things like, rating every single card in the entire set, and, top 3 new decks of the week. And there's a bunch of other new things we've done, like the, rating 10 random Magic cards a day, a series that I enjoy. Right. So again, with all that, I think that maybe to some people, the makeup of the channel has changed in a way that they don't recognize, or they don't like as much as the old content. And honestly, if that's the case, let me know. It's a tough subject to broach, man, but it's an important one, because I want to know how our 10th year can be our best year. I've got some stuff lined up already. I kind of want to do a lot more collaborations with other content creators this year. I've already got one particularly big thing sort of cooking and in the works, which should be out before too long, and I think you'll be excited about that. But apart from just the big projects, I kind of want to do collabs with smaller creators and get their names out there. There's a few people I can think of off the top of my head whose names I want to get out there. So I kind of just want to be everywhere this year. It's something I want to focus on, is not only collabing with other creators, but lifting up smaller creators too, I think is very important in this kind of space. So I got a lot of plans this year, but I kind of want to know too, really, what you want me to focus on over the next year. Up to now, I can firmly say truly that I have worked longer hours doing this than anything else that I've ever done. I've stressed more over doing this than anything else that I've ever done, but it's also been easily the most rewarding experience that I could ever hope for. And just about no matter what I do from here on out, I'm not sure that it will be more personally rewarding than what I've experienced over the last 10 years, and I wouldn't trade it for anything. So bottom line, I'm not going anywhere. Again, 100 years, Mtg, we're getting Szechuan sauce memes and all that. But again, I'm not going anywhere because there's nowhere else I'd rather be. Sometimes I work 70 hours a week doing this, and I stress out over it more than anything I've ever stressed out over in my entire life. Right. But all that said, I would never ever want to do anything else. So again, here's to another 10 or 100 years of this experiment, guys. Again, this isn't one where I'm just like, see ya, you know what I mean? It's bye. No, look, right after I get done recording this, I'm going to shut off the recording and then immediately start recording again so I could do this cards you should be playing in standard video. And then I'm going to, start doing Ether Drift spoilers and all. There's a lot. There's a lot coming up, so don't worry about me or anything. But again, the important part of this video, even though it's a bit somber for a 10-year anniversary celebration spectacular, is that I want you to get down there and tell you how we can be better. That's the most important thing to me. At what point did the channel change in a way that you didn't care for or whatever? I want to know how you feel, because I want to keep doing this, and in order to keep doing this, we have to continue to grow and evolve and progress. So what's the best way to do that? And in some ways, what can we go back to that we used to do that maybe we don't do as much anymore, and that bums you out? You know what I mean? Just all your thoughts down there in the comments section, and I'm looking forward to seeing them. But for now, that's all I've got for this one. I'm not going to do the usual, like, YouTube, Patreon, Twitch, blah, blah, blah. It's pointless at this point. If you clicked on this video, you probably been with me for a very, very long time. So you already know all the stuff. So all I'm going to say is one more time, thank you. Seriously. Again, I'm not going to try to change the tone to be like too somber or sappy here, because we've got a long way to go from here, and 10 years is really only the beginning, but it means an awful lot to me. And these last 10 years have been the most sort of important experience, the most rewarding experience that I could ever possibly imagine. And I mean every word of that sincerely. So thank you all so much. And I will see you again a lot. Right? So again, don't feel bummed out or anything. Thanks for the 10 years, and I will see you again very, very soon. I am Dev from The Place. Thanks for watching, Wizards. Spread love and be kind.